What's good, everybody? GENOthaDRAGON back at you with the second episode of what will likely be called GENOthaDRAGON's Weekly Cutscene, Episode 2. Change it to that, kind of big name, cutscene, you'll know what it symbolizes. So it's kind of a weekly catch-up, wrap-up of kind of news and events of the week, all within their own nerddom, comics, video games, toys, anime, all that good stuff. So yeah, settle on that name. So we'll jump into it with some comic business. First bit of news was from Image Comics, the book Redlands #1, the new title from Jordi Belair is fantastic. Vanessa Del Rey, if you don't know, she was the artist on the Boom Studios book called Hit. Very reminiscent of LA, like LA Noir type stuff, LA Noir the video game, LA Confidential. If you like those old 50s LA crime stories, that's what she did. That's what the book Hit was. But Redlands #1 takes place in Florida about cops trying to keep control of their town and witches. So you got this horror book, and I'm just really excited. I'm kind of interested. I won't say really excited because I didn't really know much about it, but it piques my interest because I like Jordi Belair. You got Vanessa Del Rey and Clayton Cowles on letters. So new book from Image Comics, $3.99 is out this week. Heard it might have even went to reprint already, so somebody check up on that. I could probably check it, but I'm not going to. But yeah, if you picked up Redlands this week, let me know what you thought of it. Or if you were interested, and eventually just let me know what you thought of it. If you liked it, didn't like it, what you liked, and just kind of let me know about that. So also, we got a lot of stuff from Comic Properties. Finally, I got news out of nowhere, at least to me, about the Hellblade reboot, which I honestly really just came out of nowhere. I heard anything, I thought it was going to be dead, but no Ron Perlman involved, so a lot of people were like, they're checking out. Nope, don't care. Heard Mila Jovovich is in there, and recently of the Resident Evil fame, if you want to call it fame. I call it, we might as well just call it infamy because the movies have been terrible since the first one. But yeah, Hellboy reboot, I think it's called something, I think it might be Blood Queen in the subtitle or something, just Hellboy, whatever. So look into that. I like the first movie. The second movie, I like the premise, but it was way too light. I thought it should have been darker, but that's just my opinion. And someone else, a friend of mine, shared the same opinion too. It just felt like way too lighthearted for a Hellboy, for the vibe that Hellboy gives off. But that's just us. Also, we saw Robert Kirkman and Mark Millar both get signed to, or both kind of go into big deals for their properties. Mark Millar, you know, Miller World. Actually met that guy years ago at, what was it? Wizard World Chicago. I think it was still Wizard World Chicago before it became Chicago Comic Con. I went back to being named Chicago Comic Con. Real nice guy. A lot of people have been, a lot of people have hating on Mark Millar. I'm trying to think of some of the, I like Civil War. Nemesis was cool. Kick-Ass. Yeah, he did Kick-Ass. I haven't read that one in a while. The movie was okay, but not everything else. I haven't even paid attention to everything else that he's been a part of. So, and like all of the properties, I couldn't even name them all. Robert Kirkman though, I think everybody just wants to see Invincible. Like, because Invincible was a great book. I've been out of touch with it for a while, but when I was reading it was a great book, just indie superhero book. So can't knock that, and just fantastic, looked great. So just curious to see what that, and just kind of some of the other properties that could come out of those deals, especially Robert Kirkman, as we all know. I'm just curious to see what it does with Walking Dead. I think that one might just be still with AMC, so kind of curious to see about that. If anybody knows all the details, all that, go ahead, throw it in the comments. Also, jumping into some toy news, sort of. I still have that toy haul I need to do, and jumping into some Hot Wheels. I do have a nice Hot Wheel collection. I've been back in Hot Wheels for like a year and a half, and these are just two of the ones I picked up the other day. Just the cars, because I got them displayed on my shelf right now. I do pick up doubles of a lot of some of my cars just to put on my shelf. This one, oh man, this one, I saw this one. McLaren, it's a McLaren F1 GCR. Look at that bad boy. I still need a double of this one. I opened this one, but I want a duplicate to keep sealed. And Ford GT, 2017 Ford GT, yellow and black with the racing stripes. This is my third Ford GT. No wait, that's actually my fourth or fifth. But I have doubles of all those. I still need double of this one. But like I said, I get doubles of some if they're really dope. A lot of my Camaros and Lamborghinis have doubles of. Still waiting for a Lotus Exige S. Lotus, hook me up. If anybody finds a double of this GTR, go ahead, feel free, send it over to your boy Geno. Yeah, so that's that. Jumping into the video games now. So let's start with Nintendo, because clearly Nintendo was set on doing it big for 2017. They haven't dropped as many games as some people probably would have liked for the Switch, but let's see, just over a month, got Metroid Samus Returns, and then I just saw it today, but I guess it was revealed earlier this week, they're bringing a Samus, like a Metroid 3DS XL, like limited edition system. It's red, it's got Samus on the top, and then on the bottom it's got yellow gold. Because like, dude, it just came out of nowhere. They already got the Switch with 2 SKUs, got the gray Joy-Cons, the neon colored Joy-Cons. We saw the 2DS XL, which launched a few weeks ago, probably about a month, not a few weeks, probably about a month, give or take, or just under a month. And then they're dropping this one. But the only thing about this bundle, it's not even a bundle, I can't even call it that. It's just a system, doesn't come with the game, which is weird. It should at least come with the digital game. Because when I got mine, Link Between Worlds, 3DS, Golden Black Triforce, I love this baby. This actually came with the download code for the game. And knowing, you know, I like my hard copies. I don't really care about the digital. If I can get a hard copy, I'll buy it, whatever. So I sold the code and I borrowed a hard copy of the game. And so for this one, you bring back Samus in spectacular fashion with the remake of Return of Samus and Metroid Samus Return for the 3DS. And then you put out a system, but then you don't package the game with the system. Like, what are you doing, Nintendo? Just get it together. Also, the news, come over to Bethesda. I saw they're releasing the Fallout 4 Game of the Year edition, and a lot of people I found this funny. A lot of people were like, "Why is you making a Game of the Year edition when it wasn't even the Game of the Year it came out?" 2015, there was tons of games. That was the year I got my Xbox One. There was tons of games out, so man. But yeah, it's got all the DLC. It actually looks pretty slick. I like the design of it, especially with the black. So I'm kind of tempted. People have been talking about Fallout. Fallout 4 is so weird to me though. Just the reception. Like, I know people were saying, everyone I know that's played it, they all loved it. But I've seen people on Twitter and on comment sections, YouTube, and like gaming news. Some people love it. It's either you loved it or you thought it was just boring and just a terrible. Some people said it's the worst Fallout game, or that it shouldn't even count as Fallout game because it's not so much of an RPG. They said it's basically just a shooter with a few RPG elements. So, and then just people saying Fallout 3 and especially Fallout New Vegas. I've seen a lot of people praising Fallout New Vegas anytime somebody mentions Fallout 4 in an article or a video. So that's really dope. Fallout Vegas, or New Vegas, from, was it Obsidian? I think it was Obsidian. But apparently that one's been cherished and loved throughout the years, and that's been maintained. I'm still hella curious. I never played a Fallout before, so I was tempted to pick up Fallout 4. The hype almost got me. I think I did have it. I might have returned it before even opening it. Like, I think, yeah, I did. I got it part of a like buy 2 get 1 free deal, but then I didn't care as much, so I returned it and just got something else I really wanted. But yeah, that's Fallout 4, and then we'll jump into what I've been playing. Prey, Steelbook Gods. Like I said, still been enjoying Prey. Still gotta get through that. Slowly working my way through that. With a little healthy mix of The Division, pop this back in. I still love the shooting mechanics. People can say what they want about Ubisoft and The Division, but the game feels really good. Even people talk about the bullet sponge enemies, which I think it works for this type of game, even though it's set like a kind of realistic setting, but it still kind of works for, I don't want to say MMORPG style setting, whatever you want to call it. I think it just works if it was, I don't want to be that realistic, because it just kind of makes the gunplay and just all the encounters a little more intense. So there's that. And then, couldn't stay away, Gears 4. Back on Gears. I still love this Steelbook. It's like the back here. Check it out. A little close up at the front again. Still loving Gears. Man, y'all know I love Gears. Like, gameplay, just love it. The shotgun feels so good. shotgun, the chainsaw, especially, I meant to say the chainsaw, that's how I want, just tearing people up. Man, been liking this. They just released new maps. They got Canals, Gears 1, OG classic. Anybody been playing Gears since Gears 1? Canals is just, Canals is one of those maps. You throw that in there, I just want to play Canals. I'll play Canals all day. Canals, Gridlock, those are two of my all-time favorite Gears maps. Then there's Forge Blitz. I'm not even sure if that was already on Gears 4. It's been a while since I actually played Gears 4 hardcore. But yeah, I've been back into this. Been playing this a lot this last like 2 weeks. So, man, Gears. Love it. Yeah, I can't stay away from Gears for too long. Now we jump into some comments. Have any questions? Jump into some of my recent video comments. So there was a few spam ones. They were asking about music. Like, no, I don't want your music. I do have like royalty-free music, so that's what you hear in the background. But I guess that's what these other accounts were trying to get me to do. Like, hey, come check out my channel, blah, blah, blah. You're a liar. So Fred Hall Direct Edition on my last haul video. Cool stuff, brother, man. So I mentioned in replying to his comment about Mitch Gerard's. Oh wait, actually that wasn't the right one. Sorry. Senior 13, nice haul, bro. Good purchases. Thanks both of you guys for checking out the video. And then, oh yeah, so a long time ago I did a video showing off one of my only two pages of original comic art. This one was from Image. It was a book published by Image Comics called The Activity, and the artist was Mitch Gerard's. So the comment from GENOthaDRAGON's. Oops, here, probably easy to read it this way. Not familiar with this guy's work, but I love the storytelling in these panels. Also great style, realistic, but stylized, stylish. You got a great page. I love the page, and I actually think I might do another video just kind of redoing that, because that was a long time ago, and I got a better camera now, so I can better show off the detail of the page. But I really like the storytelling, the way the character kind of moves from panel to panel throughout the page. That's what made me pick it up. And I actually have 2 copies of the book because he sent me a signed copy of the book when he sent me the page, when Mitch. And then, so in my comment, I replied to him, to GENOthaDRAGON's. We were talking about Mitch Gerard's, and I couldn't remember everything that he had did previously. So had to go to a trusted resource, Comic Book DB. Some of the other books he's worked on, Black Widow, Batman. I knew he was on a Batman book. The Activity, obviously. Some Doctor Who books, so if you like Doctor Who, I don't care. I mean, I don't care that you don't like, that you do like, I just don't care about Doctor Who. The Punisher, that was the one I was thinking of before. Punisher and Batman were the other 2 books I was thinking of when I replied to that comment. So there's some of the books that he's worked on. So yeah, and my other page, I don't know if I even mentioned it, but I'll save that one, so that's a surprise. So yeah, that's that. That's gonna wrap up. Trying to think of anything else. Yeah, that's about it for this week. Cutscene, a lot of good stuff. Still gotta read Monstrous, which I showed off my last video, which was a comic book haul from my trip in Denver. That was great. Tons of stuff I need to do. Working on some games. Trying to do some more content. I have a channel update video coming up. I'm still working on the notes for everything there that I want to mention. And so just talking about kind of some history stuff and kind of the future. So be on the lookout for that, as well as some tons of other things I'm working on. I have a lot, but just life and just trying to, I'm a bit of a perfectionist, even though like no one's perfect. There's a lot of stuff I was like, okay, I don't want to do this until it's absolutely ready. So I'll scrap things until I feel like it meets a certain standard sometimes. Then that just, unfortunately, just ends up with a lack of content on my end. So I'm trying to do better about that. But yeah, so let me know. Hit me up in the comments. I really want this to be, I'm kind of working on, I know it's been like a while since I did the first one, but there's tons of stuff that I want to do. And, oh, I forgot to mention, Hellblade was out this week. That was the other thing I was thinking of. Other game. Hellblade, PS4, PC, $30. It's kind of interesting, and a lot of people have been divided on it, but go check out the reviews of that. I don't want to get into it too much now since I already kind of missed that opportunity. But yeah, I just really wanted to mention that one from Ninja Theory, and they really wanted to go with this kind of mid-tier game. It's $30, Only thing is, it definitely comes off as a walking simulator vibe. And if you're a gamer, basically a walking simulator. If you're not a gamer, basically a walking simulator is just where most of the gameplay, or the game centers around, there's a story, deep story, but there isn't as much gameplay as most people would expect. So it's really from an experience and kind of experiencing some character's journey or making your own journey where you're making decisions for the character. So it usually falls around, goes down one of those paths. So there's that. So go check it out, Hellblade. I'm still on the fence about it. It looks, like visually looks great. There's some combat, but it's just a walking simulator aspect that kind of turns me off. So still kind of debating on that. But yeah, like I said, it's gonna wrap this up. And I want this to be, I really want this to be interactive. So I say, hit me up with your questions. Like, I'll read comments. I'm on Twitter a lot talking about all this stuff. So if you got a question, comment, hit me up on there. I'll read it in the video and just kind of respond to it again. Just kind of make this interactive. Definitely want to get back to having like a real nice community vibe to it. Even if you don't create videos yourself, like, we can still kind of share in this, sharing our love and our passion. So yeah, like, share, subscribe. Thanks to all my subscribers. Hit me up. And happy reading, happy toy hunting, happy comic hunting, collecting, happy gaming. GENOTHDRAGON, and I'm out.